Do you ever wonder why your real estate ads get no return on investment? Well, I know exactly why. I've generated over 10,000 real estate leads for over 100 realtors over at my agency Lead Gen Pros using paid ads. And in this specific video, I'm going to talk about the 5 reasons why your real estate ads don't work, but more importantly, what you can do to actually fix those problems so you actually get results and you don't have to worry about where your next deal is going to come from. Now, I'd argue that the last point in this video is going to be the most important, so stick around for that one. And without further ado, we'll get right into it. Now, in terms of why you should listen to me, you should always do your research before listening to strangers on the internet. However, in terms of our track record, we manage tens of thousands of dollars in ad spend monthly for hundreds of realtors across Canada and the US. I'll let you be the judge of if you want to listen to me or not. Now, tip number 1, here we go. The number 1 reason I see a lot of realtors fail with paid ads is simply because their ad spend is just too low. And as a result of their ad spend being too low, you're not giving your advertising platform, whether it's Meta or whether it's the Google ecosystem, enough time to exit the learning phase. And the learning phase is really important because that's where Google or Facebook is trying to find the right person to show your ad to. And if you're only spending $5 or $10 per day, you're not going to give your platform enough time or ad spend to really find the right person to show your ads to, which is what Google or Facebook is doing when your ads are optimizing. So typically, as a general rule of thumb, you'll want to start at a minimum of $20 per day, and keeping in mind that the more ad spend you have, pending other things, your targeting is good, you have good creative, and so forth. As long as you're spending at least $20 per day, your ads will exit the learning phase faster, but the more money you put towards that amount, the faster your ads will optimize, right? And you can pause the video here and look at this quick graph, but really the more money you spend, the more impressions you get, the more clicks you get, therefore your ads optimize faster. Now, as a general tip here, it's going to be better to spend $20 per day consistently versus just splashing in $600 one time and hoping for the best, right? So that's tip number 1. On to tip number 2. All right, next we have location and detailed targeting. Now, I see this mistake made like so often with realtors. It absolutely blows my mind. The mistake I see is that a lot of realtors go really, really specific when it comes to targeting. This is more so referring to the Meta ecosystem like Facebook and Instagram, where they'll select like 9 or 10 different demographics, like people who are interested in Mercedes or BMW or yachts or economics or real estate investing, when in reality, Facebook's algorithm is really, really good these days. Most advertising platforms' algorithms are pretty dialed in, so you don't really have to go that specific. You can actually afford to go broad. And I personally, I've disclosed what targeting I use in my other videos, so check those out if you're curious. But we usually go broad targeting on Meta, so like real estate, property, mortgage calculators, Zillow, Realtor.com. And broad targeting, like 9 times out of 10, will outperform more detailed targeting. Even open targeting is pretty good these days too, pending you're working within a specific geographic location. The one exception to this case is if you're advertising on a platform like Google with YouTube ads specifically, if you have fantastic front-end creative and you're still trying to throw your ads at general real estate interests, your ads will probably still perform really well. The more specific you get, like keyword targeting, that can outperform your ads sometimes, but in those scenarios, it's best to split test, right? And we'll talk about what that means a little bit later in this video as well. Now, when it comes to location targeting, right, in most areas, there's the housing category. So like in Canada and the US, you cannot go more specific than a 15-mile radius or a 25-kilometer radius. So if you're living in California, for example, an ad that says Los Angeles homeowners is always going to have more impact than an ad that says California residents or California homeowners. So the idea there is you want to be as specific as the platform will allow you to be, because if you live in Los Angeles, it's going to resonate better with you if someone says Los Angeles homeowners versus California homeowners. So hopefully that makes sense. That's a pretty simple one, but it is an important one to keep in mind whenever you're running paid ads. On to the next one. All right, next we have your ad placements. Now this is specifically relevant towards the Meta ecosystem. Again, I see a lot of realtors do this where they hear some marketing agency or somebody saying, hey, you should not show your ads on Reels or whatever placement it might be. And as a result, they don't split test these things for their specific market and their specific offer. Oftentimes they listen blindly to what other people are saying. So your advertising platform is probably a little bit smarter than you think it is. So in this scenario, literally just leave your ads as Advantage Plus. I've split tested this time and time again. Manual placements can perform better, but unless you're spending, $100+ per day, if you're spending like $25, $50 a day, the dollars that your advertising platform takes to figure out that reels or feeds are going to be the best placement is not really a substantial amount. So save yourself some time, and if you don't know what to or where to place your ads, just go advantage placements, and I promise you they will perform. All right, so mistake number 4 is no call to action or no demographic call out in your ad copy or in your videos, right? So not doing this is one of the reasons that your ads are not working. Now, if you live in Dallas, Texas, or again, Los Angeles, California, whatever area it is that you're running your ads in, you're gonna wanna call out that specific area. So if I'm a homeowner and I see your ad, it's like, oh, this person is local, right? They're advertising to me specifically. So an example here, super simple, is if you're running ads in Pittsburgh, you can say something very simple like Pittsburgh homeowners, or attention, Pittsburgh homeowners looking to sell, right? So you're calling out the location, the demographics, so homeowners, and then the action, right? So who are looking to sell. If you have those 3 things, it's super simple but very powerful just to show your prospects that you're local in their area. And here's a quick example that you can pause and take a look at. To be honest, actually, I probably should have used a better example because it says attention Texas homeowners. So a better thing to say would actually be attention Dallas, Texas homeowners, and show that ad specifically in Dallas, right? So hopefully that makes sense. All right, I saved the best for last, and this is one of the biggest mistakes that I see individual realtors make when they're running their own ads. Now, most agency owners are not going to make this mistake, or hopefully you're working with a good agency. They shouldn't be making this mistake, but in simplest terms, a split test, here's a good analogy for it, right? So a split test is like a chef who's trying out different recipes like the sauces and spices for the exact same dish. In this case, the dish is going to be your offer, and the recipes or sauces or spices are going to be things like your targeting, your placements, your ad copy, and so forth, right? So the base ingredients are going to remain the same, which is your offer, for example, like a home evaluation, but you're going to make small tweaks and change the end result, leading to the chef, or in this case, the advertiser, knowing what works best, right? So just like that chef analogy, you should tweak your ads to ensure that you're getting the best possible results, right? So things that you can change are the call out at the beginning, your body of text, possibly adding some emojis, your call to action, and the ad creative. And here's some examples of actual split tests, right? I'm going to move my picture here so you can kind of see this a little bit better. Here we go, made myself a little bit smaller. So here's some examples of split tests, right? So the same offer, right? You need to sell your house, or we buy houses as is, or sell your house hassle-free. You can see that the ad copy is actually the same, but all the graphics are different, right? So this is a good example of somebody running ads who is split testing to see which one of their offers works the best. And if you are not split testing your ads, you're missing out on a ton of opportunity to get lower lead cost and better quality leads. So definitely one of the most important things to do when you're testing out your ads. All right, so those are the 5 reasons why your ads are not working. Now I've got one more thing to tell you. There's a bunch of stuff that I didn't cover in this specific video. However, you can click the first link in the description to get access to my free 10-minute training to help you generate multi-6 figures in GCI using paid ads. And number 2, as another bonus, if you want to get a completely free 15-minute strategy session with myself to get some clarity on your marketing strategies, click the second link in the description. If you're not subscribed, be sure to do so, and I will see you in the next one.